Hi guys, and welcome to Sparks and Volts. Today we have my brother's SL350. He bought this car in 2015-2016 while I was at university for around £25,000. Nowadays you can get one of these for about 12 to 14 grand with good mileage on it, good condition. Let's have a little look at the car, guys. One of my personal favourite things are these vents. Ironically, you don't actually get it on the 63s. That whole unit is replaced with something that doesn't look as nice in my opinion. These lovely vents here, or the new 2021 one will have them as well. The lovely bulges. I love this car in black. You get a lot of these ones in silver, this particular model, generation, sorry. I prefer black myself. Two lovely rectangular looking exhaust pipes. I'm sure Matt Watson will approve if he was to bring his stick of truth. Right now, as you can see, we have the roof down. It is a hard top convertible. That's one of my favorite things about the car. I just don't get the point of having a soft top. It's just so much better to have a hard top. I know it weighs a lot. I think this one's like 100 kilograms or so, but it just is what it is. Typical SL, you got this long bonnet, small boot area, and just it's all about the driver and the passenger. This car is just, it makes you feel special. You sit inside, you've got that gorgeous leather interior, these gorgeous arches that just, you know, you almost feel like you're in a supercar at times, I'll be honest. If it was a 63 AMG and it had that sound note, you probably would feel as if you was in a supercar. To the interior of the vehicle, one of my favourite places to be actually. You've got this lovely aluminium piece inside the door there, which you don't really get to see every day. More aluminium trim here. And just leather everywhere. That is my favourite thing about this car. Leather dashboard, leather seats, leather on the centre armrest area, leather behind the seats for your storage. You've got these cool door bin things here, which are full of face masks and receipts, being coronavirus and all. What else? The lovely aluminium trim in the centre there. Right guys, my favourite part of this video, let's go for a drive. We're in the gorgeous countryside of Epping. Got some lovely roads around here. Let's go. So first impressions driving the SL, for me anyway, is it's quite unique how low you are in a car that's supposed to be a bit of a cruiser. It's very low, very flat. You can take corners at quite high speed, no problem at all. But yet it's also so smooth. I mean, not that I've done these speeds, but you can hit 120 and not even know you're doing it. And that's, for me, what makes this car really special. The second, I'd say, despite being the 350, the baby, it still has a rather nice note, which I'm sure you'll hear in this video at some point. She does like to scream. She does like to scream, this car. Got that long bonnet ahead of you, the short trunk space. It really is a typical sports car design. You got all leather in front of you. Beautiful SL dials. One of my favourite things about SL cars is they always have their own unique dials. Back from, you know, the 300 SL Gullwing to now to the 2017 facelift one. Beautiful car. They all have beautiful unique dials. I really hope the new one isn't gonna follow this digital trend. It probably is. I'm a bit gutted about the hard top convertible being replaced with a soft top as well, but that's just my opinion. And let's see if we can do a little noise check. Let's just wait for this. Right. I don't know how much that comes up on the iPhone microphone, but it is actually quite a nice noise. Very European sounding V6. It just sounds clean. It's not really an aggressive sound. It's not a yobbo sound at all. It's just a clean German V6 sound, if I'm honest. One of the main differences between the 350 and the 500 is that the 500 has air suspension. Now, I've never sat in a 500, I must confess, but this car is extremely comfortable, and if air suspension ever goes wrong, that's going to be a lot of money to fix. So I genuinely think that's one of the perks of this car. Not only is it cheaper, you can get a good one now, quite low mileage for about 13, 14 grand, despite this car being 80k 10 years ago. And there should be no huge bills, you know, nothing like air suspension anyway. This is my brother's car, and the biggest thing that's gone wrong with it has been the air conditioning. Mercedes-Benz quoted something ridiculous like £2,800 because of it. Apparently so much labour that needs to be done. But the silly thing is they couldn't even guarantee that it would work after. So my brother's just sort of sitting on his hands at the moment. He hasn't got that done. Hopefully he can find someone else that will do it for a bit cheaper than £2,800. I mean, that's ridiculous, let's be honest. Other than that, a very common issue with this model car is a leaking C-pillar, if you like. It's got these sills, and it slightly leaks. I believe Mercedes will probably replace that all in all for about 400 quid. I mean, they wanted, I think, around £200 just to do a water test on it, even though we told them the car's leaking. Where they would just basically put a hose on it for 20 minutes and then check the boot. So, you know, unfortunately, you do get bumped by a main dealer. Everyone knows this. So, Uzi, you're a tall lad. You're a what? 6'4"?
6'5".
6'5". How does it feel?
You know what? This is really comfortable. This is a really comfortable car.
Yeah.
I mean, the seats are nice and wide. They're very comfortable. They've even got the headscarf thing that you talk about.
It's been amazing on a day like today when it was freezing earlier.
Yeah, I mean, even with the top down, you can still get that nice warm feeling around your neck, so you won't suffer too bad.
Yeah.
But the seats are nice and big and hugging. I've got enough leg room. I mean, not ample amounts, because it is quite. It is like a sports car, isn't it? At the end of the day, the shape of it. But at the end of the day, I'm comfortable. I've got, what is it, 12-way adjustable electric seats?
Yeah, probably.
Must be heated. We've got memory seats on both sides. I mean, you're surrounded by comfort here. There's leather everywhere. My dad's CLS is from around this era, and that's a beautiful car inside. Yeah.
Lovely wooden trim, but I have to say, I like the fact that there's no wood in here and it's just leather. Yeah. I like this aluminium trim, but they haven't gone over the top with it. They've stuck predominantly with the leather.
Yeah, I mean, the leather and the metal gives it more of a sporty feel over the luxury feel, isn't it? Like,
yeah, 100%.
The wooden dash and all that is usually in the bigger cars, the saloons.
Yeah, the S-classes. Yeah, for sure. But this car's V6, it's 315 brake, 265 foot-pounds of torque around that figure, and I mean, for everyday use it's fine. I think the figure is about 0 to 60 in 6.2 seconds. I'll be honest, it feels quicker than that. I'm pretty sure I've done it quicker than that. But this car, for everyday use, feels quick. If you want to overtake someone, you can overtake someone. It will probably scream a bit more than the 500 or the 63 while you're doing it. But that's part of the enjoyment for me, is that this car is a car that you can put your foot down and still be quite safe. I can't imagine there being too many places in London especially where you could put your foot down in an SL63, despite how much I love that vehicle. My brother does look after the car. He gets it serviced from Mercedes, only from Mercedes, and this car mechanically has been sound. There's been no issues with the gearbox, no issues with the engine. Everything's been sound, apart from the air conditioning and the leaking C-pillars. So yeah, not actually that many big... I wouldn't call this car a money pit, to be honest. The road tax is ridiculous. That's where they get you. That's the government's fault. I'm a huge SL fan. Like, SLs are my favourite cars. I don't have a favourite SL because I love them all. Obviously the 300 Goldwing, the classic 1950s, that's my dream car, but that's a few £1,000,000. I love the latest SL, the 2017 facelift one. I love the 2012 one where you just got Chris Harris driving it like a maniac. There's a lot of hype now and a lot of people and journalists saying that the SL sort of lost its touch. It's all about the AMG GTS now. No, I'm sorry, that's not true. The AMG GTS is a great car. It's a sports car. It's not their flagship model, that's my opinion. Mercedes-Benz's flagship models will always be the S-Class for like your saloon and luxury coupe, and the SL for your two-seater, basically driving around in Saint-Tropez with the roof down, roof up, go anywhere type of vehicle. You have to remember the AMG GTS, that is a specific car. That is like a 911 competitor. You can't really call it a luxurious car or a luxurious Grand Tourer. Right guys, enough talking. We're on some country roads in Epping. Let's give it a little... Oh, listen to that. I really hope you can hear that, guys. I mean, look, it's not a V8 or a V12 sound that we're so familiar with from Mercedes, but that is a beautiful sound. Honestly, it's so clean. And because it's naturally aspirated, you don't get many engines like that anymore. A good friend of mine who hopefully will let me review the car has a E300 coupe. No, sorry, E400 coupe. And it's a beautiful engine. This is 315 brake, that's about 330 I believe, maybe even more, but it doesn't sound like this. I have to be honest, this sounds better because it's naturally aspirated. That's a bi-turbo engine and it does sound a bit suffocated, you know. Unfortunately we're losing those lovely old engine sounds these days for the lovely environment, and of course it's got to be done, but it's more of a reason to cherish a car like this, and it's only going to eventually start going up in value. Every SL is a classic. The 90s SL now, I remember looking at them thinking, God, they look like old bangers. My brother was like, but you can get a really good one for like £4,000, and I was like, no, it looks horrible. 10 years later I'll do anything to own one. But one in decent nick, you're looking at 30 grand now. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Shout out to Harry's Garage. I love his stuff. His SL600, where he does the 50p coin test on the engine, revs it, doesn't even move. It's such a smooth engine. I'm pretty sure he said he bought his one for about £5,500. That just breaks my heart, honestly. Breaks my heart. Yeah, the only thing you can do if you want to jump on that wavelength is get the SLs that are now cheap, and this is one of them. And you know, it looks amazing. You'd be surprised how much attention you still get in this car. I get a lot of car fans just, you know, giving the car a second look. I've had people talk to me at the petrol station about it, and it, you know, it's really nice. As a petrol head, that's the best part of driving, right? Talking to other car enthusiasts. Right, some more sound shots. Whoa. I mean, 315 brake doesn't sound like a lot these days, but bloody hell.
You know what it is? It's the way it delivers the power.
Yeah.
It's refined, that's what it is.
Yeah. It's just like a smooth surge, isn't it? You just keep going and going, and you're like, oh, bloody hell.
Yeah, you're thinking, when is it going to stop? But it doesn't.
Yeah, which makes me think, bloody hell, what must a 63 be like, man? That naturally aspirated 6.2 litre V8.
Guys, like the video if you want us to get one of those.
Oh, please, guys, that would be an absolute pleasure. Put the roof up.
No.
Alright. Now, yeah?
Yeah.
Guys, I have to say, that's one of the best sounding V6s I've ever heard. I mean, what V6 engine sounds like that other than a high performance Porsche or something? This is a cruiser. After driving this car for a few hours, I think it's an absolute still, a modern day still. It's a classic, it's a SL, it's a model that's been around since the 50s. It's a car with pedigree. And you really do get that when you drive the car. There's just so much about it to love, and you just think, you know, for 13, 15k, you're essentially buying what was the top in its class, one of the best convertibles in the world 10 years ago. This is the facelift edition. Not much has changed inside, apart from the steering wheel, really, but outside you get that gorgeous new front end. It's a great car to drive, and I think if you look after it, it will look after you. You don't have anything to worry about mechanically.
Hi guys, thanks again for watching the video. If you liked the video, please like and subscribe to the channel. Sorry about all the faults, it is my first ever video. I'd also like to say, although I described the car as not being a money pit, I'm comparing this to other old premium cars. It's still going to cost a lot to run. It still costs a lot to service from a main dealer. Please bear these things in mind. A full owner review will be coming up shortly, and we'll go into more depth in regards to costs and stuff in that video.